Alright, what's poppin', people? We're back, and unfortunately, NUPL for my team has ended. We we were coming to this week in like 7th place, and technically we did still have playoff chances, but we needed a lot to go right for us, and we didn't get everything going right. Though, gotta be honest, we actually almost did sneak in. We're ahead this week 5-1. I don't think the last two games are happening. However, we won, and I think we had two of the teams that we needed to lose. We at least had one of them lose, and then like the other two matches were close. Regardless, NUPL is over for me. Obviously, I'll be helping one of the teams, but hush hush, you don't need to know who that is. Anyhow, I thought a great way to conclude this regular season would be to actually do a little bit of coverage of the last game that my team played. We got Stresh versus Beraldino. Coming into this game, Stresh was like 1-5. He had a pretty bad tour, unfortunately, but you know what? Still wanted to finish it out, try to finish it on a W. And he was facing Beraldino, who actually was 6-0, but he was 6-0 in DPP, so he was just slotted into Gen 8 this week because he felt like playing Gen 8. And yeah, before we get into this, as always, want to make sure that I remind y'all, wow, mental glitch. Make sure I remind y'all to leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you aren't. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so need your help to do that. And yeah, let's get into this. Alright, actually, before we get into this, I wanted to make sure that I did give shout out to Scyther for the $5 super thanks. As per usual, you never have to, send any money my way, but I do appreciate any amount that I get. And as he says, they will contribute a small amount to the bike that they hoping that I upgrade with. So, hey, I'll do my best. Shout outs to you, man. So now, let's actually get into the game. Alright, so let's first look at the teams real quick. Now, both teams are pretty non-standard. I feel like Beraldino still looks pretty normal. It's just the Kingler there is a little bit out of place, but otherwise, you could see this as like a pretty typical bulky offense. It's following just the normal formula of, Mudsdale plus a steel type, just because that's really always there. Grass type removal, Delmise, Rotomo, Eldegoss, Serena, all common. Fast, fire type, a lot of times going to be Talonflame or Salazzle. Throw two wall breakers there, and boom, got a pretty good team. And then Stresh brought something very, very experimental with the wishy-washy Sylvally of some kind, you'd assume ground. And then it's a little Stack Attacka, a Snorlax, and then some bug spam. And I mean, this game, I'll be honest, Stresh's matchup, not the greatest because, well, hey, there's a decent amount you need to go right, I feel, to meet your win conditions of, like, cleaning when one of these two. Yeah, let's hit the play button. We're going to see the Delmise lead into Wishy-Washy. This should always be faster. It actually ends up being slower. Should it always be faster? No, it shouldn't, because I feel like you'd end up going sassy on this. And Delmise, yeah, Delmise is faster than I remember, my bad. And Delmise likes to run a lot of time, at least a little bit of speed, just to contest around its speed tier. It's not like you're dumping a lot into the speed stat, but she'll run like 20. And yeah, we're going to see the good prediction there by Stresh U-turn out as the Scyther comes in, and the Scyther's going to put in a lot of overtime this game. I'll put it bluntly, this Talonflame, not very hot today. The Flame Body was not something that Beraldino was able to successfully activate very frequently. And of course, we're going to see Scyther come right back in again. This time, Stresh does not try to get greedy, and it works out really well because, hey, it was on a Power Whip. And now we see WinCon 1 spotted, or not WinCon, but one of the things that you have on your checklist where you try to set up a Scyther win. He knocks the Mudsdale. Obviously, this is a good check to Scyther just because of how bulky it is. So making sure to get the knock on it now, really good. And since there's no wish passing on Beraldino's team, any chip damage, probably going to stick on it for the whole game. And Wishy-Washy now is going to get another free turn to U-turn. He could have scalded, but keeping momentum up on the Copper which is pretty annoying for this build, I think is really good. And of course we see Defog on the Sylvally ground. You need Foggers when you have two really rock-weak Pokemon. Even though they can have boots, it's just still really good. And Ground Valley works well enough as a Fogger. Now we're going to see the first of multiple dual Wing Beat misses this game, but honestly, hitting this one's something you really want to do, because Copper is the only flying resist on Beraldino's team, so you want to get that damage Namon doesn't invest in physical bulk anyway, so if you're able to secure some chip on it, you want to do that. Because you're missing out now on, like, what, maybe 40% extra damage? Probably more like 30-ish, but you get the idea. And now he still gets to U-turn the next turn, so this is really good. And Ground Pound is going to come out. He is going to make a really good read there. Not like there's much else that could have come out. Unfortunately for him, though, it does tank it very easily. And we're going to get to freely U-turn on the Talonflame next turn, which is nice. And Wishy-Washy here, just going to U-turn up again. Don't want to give momentum up to Baraldino, because he does have a lot of wall breakers on this team, between like Dragalge, Kingler, Kaparaja, just a lot of mons that do a lot of damage, so you want to limit those turns that they get to freely fire off attacks. Snorlax is going to be what we bring in, and I believe we're actually Assault Vest Snorlax as well, so that's a little fun. Getting Paron Mudstail is pretty nice too. Not necessarily for outspeeding anything, but just because you get turns like that, where the Mudstail doesn't get to do anything, so kind of just help to keep rocks off the field. And now we're going to again see double from Baraldino there. Get the Delmise in versus the Wishy-Washy, and he's going to get the Mudstail in versus the Scyther, then he's going to get the Talonflame in versus the Scyther. Keep trying to fish for burns, unable to do it though, as we do get a little bit more U-turn chip, just a little bit, just a smidge. But any chip's good because you're just trying to make sure that this mon's pressured, really. And right here, we are unfortunately, because of the flip turn in range, we do Heat Crash there, predicting Delmise. It doesn't work too well, but hey, it's still chip on this. It should be in range of Dual Wing Beat now, which is really good. And as you can see, we get a crit there. It doesn't matter, but we do finally get Flame Body burned. This is obviously really detrimental for us because Scyther's our win con, but fortunately, we got a little B in the back. And Urbambi, as anyone that has seen it in practice and you usually knows that some of this, one of the sets it's not like it's a common mon, but one of the sets it's most known for does end up featuring Aromatherapy to kind of give it a little bit more stall breaking power. So it's not like it's doomed for us or anything, right? It's just now a matter of, can we get that turn to Aroma? And yeah, we're going to make sure to prevent the rocks because, well, we need Scyther for this game. That is our win condition. Especially after removing the Talonflame, it is looking really, really good for Scyther. And right here, we can always stand Wishy-Washy. We're going to be max special defense. I mean, look at our team. We need that extra insurance. So, Sand versus Dragalge, eat that up. We actually end up getting Custap Berry Dragalge'd, but Rabombi, hard body, easily eats that up. And we're going to get the Aroma off, and of course, that's huge for our Scyther. No longer burned. Mudstail weakened. Kaparaja getting weakened. Again, hitting that dual wing beat earlier would have been really nice, but it's winnable, right? You see the lines. And again, we're going to get at least a little bit more chip there. Crit there is actually, again, it's like, it looks like it doesn't matter because it's only 6% extra, but hey, that's, you're getting another round of Stealth Rock off. So it is really nice. And we're going to actually now get our own rocks up here. Take a Crab Hammer because Baraldino thought Crab Hammer got a Sheer Force boost. It does not. That's the wrong move, buddy. It's Liquidation. And that's also really good for us because this, if this was Agility, there may have been a world in which we actually, like, lose to this. So that's really cool for us. We also, I mean, we pick it off anyway next turn, but still, that's actually really good for us. Our Scyther's going to roost back up, and we're actually going to miss a dual wing beat here. I feel like every time the spawn's gone for the move, it's just been nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. But, again, you see how this win con is slowly forward. Kaparaja, he's going to go Raja to then double into Delmise to try to get it in versus something slower, which he can heal up versus. Now, of course, our Scyther could always come right back in, but it's still just a matter of trying to at least force Scyther to take the rocks damage and try to keep this mon healthier, just because, I mean, you can keep rocks off your own side of the field. I guess that's not too bad. It's not really that big a deal, I'll be honest. The dual wing beat misses do suck. A lot of this too, again, it's the Baraldino trying to just force turns where he has to U-turn, because Stresh is at a spot where he really doesn't want to risk a whole lot with his Scyther. It is literally his only way of winning this game. The stack keeps getting lower and lower. He's more pressed to try to find, you know, an opportunity to just hit Raja ever. And he gets it right there. That's how the game ends. But I do think at the end of the day, This was always going to, at the end of it, come down to just can Stresh hit a dual wing beat on the Delmise. Because it was just gonna inevitably come down to, okay, pick Delm off with dual wing beat, U-turn on Raja into our stack attacker, take that hit, and then it's like Rocky Helmet chip and you probably U-turn to getting KO. But, yeah, we'd end up being able to pick the Delmise off, and we win. Unfortunately, winning the week did not end up saving us from eliminations or playoffs, but hey, rather would have us go out on top than just have another like loss or a tie and be like, wow, yeah, guys. Better to go out with a bang than a whimper, I guess. Anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Of course, if you did, again, leave a like, subscribe if you aren't already yet, so we can make it to 5K by the end of the year. Again, I feel like this is another great showing of teams that aren't really standard but still get brought in tours because you're trying to, you know, best of ones, find that angle for a good matchup. But hey, makes for more fun content, I'd say. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all in the next upload. Peace.